back to another episode. This time where we're going to show you how to create soft smoky eyes for that evening glam or just a day glam that just wants a little bit of punch. Now there are two variations of smoky. Now I came to know this the hard way because when I was working at Sephora as a makeup artist and I had clients coming up to me and asking for a smoky eye look, I came to realize that there were two versions of smoky eyes. There's a soft smoky and there's a smoky. Now a lot of these people didn't know the variations and so they would just say smoky eyes. And as we've learned, it's harder to take away than to add. So I would go in full-on heavy smoky only to realize that they meant soft smoky. Now, soft smoky is just basically using colors like browns, burgundies, or grays without any black on the eyes. Now, black makes it just even more intense. So when you're using black in smoky, know that it's actually the full-on smoky. And when you're just using browns, burgundies, or these rich colors, grays, charcoal, deep purple, plum, these are colors that you can use. There are also soft smokies that have shimmer, so you can use dark shimmer to create a soft smoky eye look. Now I'm going to show you how to create these looks in today's tutorial. Starting with the crease. The brushes that we're going to use are the following. This dual-ended brush, one has a fluffy crease brush and one has a detailed sort of flat brush. You also need a second fluffy brush. This time is for blending, just for blending, and it's clean. Then you need a small pencil brush for the below the eyes, and then you need a flat shader brush for the lid. You also need a small detail brush just for the inner corner here and maybe doing a little bit of detailed highlighting on the lid for the shimmer. Now let's begin. So to begin with, I've prepped my eyes with concealer and just to block out the canvas so that I would have a better control over how much intensity I want and the gradients of the color, avoiding the natural shadow that is on my eyes already. And I'm going to start with a light shade. So with the palette I'm using is this 3502 palette from Morphe brushes, and the first shade I'm going in is this right here, which is like beige tan color. And as you can see from this palette, you have all the light shades up here, and then you get to the warm shades here, and then you get to the darker shades here, which are like browns, all tones of browns. I love this palette. It's called the 3502 palette from Morphe brushes. And when you have a palette like this, don't be afraid to tap into as many color families as you can in order to create a look. Now for my crease, since this is the part I'm going in first, I want to define that by using some of these shades here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into a few of them. So let's just tap into just all these matte shades. And just a forewarning, now when you do your face makeup and you have your eye, then you're going into your eye, I suggest you put a shield under your eyes or just use a small amount of product at a time to avoid fallout. And I'm going to use this dry wedge under here just to prevent anything that might drop in case. So starting on the crease, I'm just going very light-handedly in windshield wiper motions, just like that. So this is called the transition shade. Once I see that I have enough color deposited, then I can go in with a clean blending brush and just go over it one more time. And notice I'm holding the brush at the back because it just gives me a lot more control when I'm moving my wrist. Okay, now I want to go a little darker underneath that. So I'm going to take the small brush again. So the two-sided brush, I'm taking the small end. And now I'm going to dive into some of these warmer shades right here. So let's mix. So I'm going to take this and this and this. Again, I've tapped it off, placed the wedge, and slowly tap in the color first. So start from the outer portion of your crease and then slowly build it up. Now for those that have hooded eyes, you may want to tilt back so that you get the most out of that socket, because otherwise you're gonna have like gaps in there. So I'm just going back and forth, and just take your time with the blending because it's all in the blending. So I'm just gonna deposit first and then take the blending side and just slowly feather that into the first color. So the trick with this smoky is to go in the gradient colors, but gradually building it up. So you just control how dark you want this to be. And now you can see the first shade here on the crease, and then the second shade here just between the crease and the lid. Really, when you're doing this, if you have hooded lids or sockets, crease, just lift your eyes like this, which helps with just the blending. Because you do want that smooth blend to show itself on your eyes. All right, now for the lid. So now to make my lids pop with the darkest shade, I'm going in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion all over my lid. Just gonna put a little bit in the back of my hand and just tap this on the mobile lid. And now I'm going in with the shader brush, and I'm going to pick these three shades here. So 1, 2, 3. This is definitely going to go under. And now I'm just gonna tap that all over the lid. So the primer really helps because it will allow this dark shadow to stick to something. Just really tap it in. Now I'm gonna take the smaller end where I have that second shade, and I'm just gonna tap this along the edge of that dark shadow, just so it blends in better. And then taking the fluffy side and really just working in. I'm gonna take a small mirror just so I can get really close and fill in these gaps you see right there. When you get a close-up mirror, you'll be able to assess better. So you see this tear duct here. I'm leaving this free of any color because I want to go in and just pop a little bit of shimmer in there to open up the eyes. I'm using the edge of this to just really shape and carve out that dark that I want on my lid. Now again, the fold is there, so make sure you lift it so you really get in there. Now what you can do is use a different brush. I'm going to use a pencil brush now just because. So taking a bullet brush, I'm going to take again the 3 brown shades and just really push this into that socket, and then just going back and forth. Now I want to go in to the brow bone. I just want to highlight this brow bone again and bring back the lightness of it. So taking a small crease brush, just picking up the lightest shade and really just feathering it into the edge of that. And I'm creating like a round shape. Now taking the lightest shade again, and I'm just going under the eyes here. And this is what creates the smoky. Because if you just leave the top, it doesn't look right when there is nothing in the bottom. And I'm going to take a small pencil brush and start to darken out the bottom lashes. I'm going to go in a little bit in with the medium brown shades and just keeping it very light-handedly, focusing more on the middle to the outer corner of the eye. And once I get to there, I want to extend this a little bit outwards so it kind of elongates the eye a little bit. And as you can see, I'm doing really light feathery strokes to create that shape. And then going in with the blending brush, I'm just gonna feather the ends so it's all nice and smooth. I'm just gonna go in with a brown pencil in my waterline right now. So taking an NYX brown pencil, this is a retractable one, I love this. I'm just filling in my rims, the upper and the bottom. Now either I can do a wing with a liner or just leave it as it is and put a bit of mascara. But what I want to do right now is to just highlight this inner corner here using the gold from that shadow. I'm also going to use a setting mist just so that I can intensify that color into the corner here. So just tapping this right in here helps to break from that really dark and just taking it slightly just in this inner corner here. You can see it just opened up the eyes a little bit. And I'm just feathering in the ends so I don't have just like a blob of shimmer in there. You can create a thicker shimmer or just like a light shimmer, it's up to you. I'm gonna go in now with just the dark, just to blend it into that shimmer a little bit. Now the darkest, I'm going along my lower lash line. It's very controlled and it's not too much so that you can see the gradients and you can see how well it's blended out. Now take the clean brush and start to blend out the edges. So now I'm going to go and add a little bit of mascara and false lashes and be right back.